Between the Divine Religion and the Devil Religion, Part 1. Introduction. The Trap of Heritage and the Search for Truth. Have you ever asked yourself, does everything we inherited from our fathers and grandfathers under the label of religion truly align with the essence of the revelation? Today, we stand at a crossroads between two forms of religiosity: a divine religion, rooted in the perfected Qur'anic design, untouched by falsehood, and a devil religion, the product of distortion and manipulation, which succeeded in wrapping human traditions with a false aura of sanctity. This devil religion is not a minor deviation. It is a shell of contradictions and fabrications that buried the Quran's certain truths. It created a state of blatant conflict that demands from us a critical, enlightening pause to distinguish between the eternal speech of God and the fabrications of human beings. No compulsion in the religion versus I was commanded to fight the people. The first and most dangerous contradiction appears in the concept of freedom of belief. We find a direct clash between the Qur'anic text and the narrative-based system. In the divine religion, Qur'an, Surah 2, verse 256 states with absolute clarity, no compulsion in the religion. The no here is a negating no. It negates the existence of any principle of compulsion in the divine design of the religion. The no here is a negating no. It negates the existence of any principle of compulsion in the divine design of the religion. Accountability belongs to God alone. People are free in what they believe, and no one has authority over them. But in the devil religion, we find narrations attributed to the prophet, though he is innocent of them, claiming he said, I was commanded to fight the people until they testify that there is no God but Allah. This narration not only destroys the principle of freedom, but also contradicts itself when it concludes with, and their reckoning is upon God. If their reckoning is upon God, then by what right do we fight them or coerce them? Such contradictions are the hallmark of statements that are from other than God, in which we find much inconsistency. Ethics of war, between grace and release, and the injustice of captivity. The Quran presents a high moral framework for dealing with prisoners of war, embodying the divine religion based on mercy and justice. Meanwhile, inherited narrations paint a distorted picture that violates these principles and degrades human dignity. Rights of the captive in the divine religion. Feeding, they give food, despite their love for it, to the poor, the orphan, and the captive. Human dignity, protecting the captive and prohibiting torture. Grace, releasing the captive as an act of kindness with no compensation. Exchange, exchanging captives or accepting ransom to end their state. In contrast, the devil religion, through narrations, legitimizes enslavement and sexual violation of women, even married women. The shocking contradiction appears in the story of the nursing woman, where the inherited tradition depicts the prophet watcher of a woman who had lost her infant in captivity, using her as an example of God's mercy, without ending her tragedy by freeing her. This grotesque portrayal has nothing to do with the messenger of mercy. It is the product of a devil mindset devoid of any moral values. The innovation of killing the apostate and the charge of zandaka, rejecting the dominant religious framework. When we examine the Quran, we find no worldly punishment for someone who changes their belief. In Quran, Surah 5, verse 54, God warns the apostate of being replaced by another people, without any mention of killing, dragging, or burning. But the priests of religion invented the charge of zandaka to kill anyone who opposed their ideology or challenged tyrants. Clerical power reached a point where denying absurdities became grounds for execution. Even more dangerous are fabricated, burning narrations which fuel terrorist groups today. This blind sanctification of narrations is what elevated human speech into an absolute truth placed above the Quran, abolishing the Qur'anic will, wasiya, through speculative narrations. While the Quran commands the obligation of the will, wasiya, as a right for the righteous, it is prescribed upon you, when death approaches any of you, if he leaves wealth, to make a will for parents and close relatives. Surah 2, verse 180. Here the methodological disaster becomes clear. They placed a speculative narration above the certain Quran, Abolishing divine law based on human narration is explicit adherence to falsehood. Conclusion, a question for the future. Following narrations that contradict the explicit Qur'an is following falsehood and straying from the path. The divine religion is the absolute Qur'anic truth. Anything inherited that contradicts it is nothing but a devil religion accumulated to obscure the light of revelation. Now that the contrast has become clear, will you choose the divine religion manifested in the certain Qur'anic truth, or remain captive to the inherited devil religion? This article is based on Dr. Khaled Al-Said Hassan research. Thanks for watching.